Marriage. So it shouldn't surprise me, but I guess it does sometimes when I still see posts and they're asking, why don't women want to get married like they used to? Because I just think that the answer should be obvious. It should be so obvious that you don't have to ask it. It's the same kind of question like, why don't people want to have children like they used to? 50 million reasons should pop into your head, right off the bat to me. So it surprises me when people still ask it as if this is some novel thing that never occurred to them and they're so stumped and dumbfounded by it. And then sometimes when I just give a little snippet, like, marriage generally benefits the man more than the woman. And there are career sacrifices for the woman and things like that. The men will say, I just don't see how it could benefit men more than women. And they'll say things like, men give up their identity. Very rarely. Women more often do. Men have to sacrifice financially. Okay, sometimes. And then there's divorce. And men lose everything. Sometimes. And they say this as if none of these things apply to women. Now, many times when we see marriage, men see marriage as the end result. They chased the woman, pursued her, in a sense conquered her, and now this woman belongs to them. They have her. They have the end result. She is their wife, and that's done. He can move on. Women see marriage as a beginning. It's just starting. Her path is just starting. Her responsibilities as a wife are just starting, and they're daily. And, you can look at the stats on how many hours marriage adds of housework to a woman. Generally, it's an extra hour of work a day. So a man doesn't have that extra hour of work added a day. Okay, he generally has less time spent on domestic tasks than the woman, and less time than he spent prior to marriage. So there's that. And then, there's all the benefits that come. Men get health benefits. Their longevity increases about 8 years. They tend to get 40% more income because married men are seen as more stable, more dependable, more reliable, more consistent, and they're also seen as more mature. And so they're going to be generally recommended for promotions and raises faster than single men. Now, on the other hand, married women are not going to get that benefit. Even if they work, they're going to end up getting promoted a year and a half later than a single woman. And this is statistics, because the bias is that now a woman's priority has become her family. She's going to be absent more. She's going to leave early. She's going to end up having kids, and therefore she's going to need maternity time off, and she might be out for months. She might even decide to stay home and raise that child. And so the idea is that now she's no longer prioritizing her career. And so therefore, it would be better to look at the single women, the single child-free women, let me be specific about that, as a better candidate for whatever you were thinking about giving to this married woman. So she almost has to prove that she's still in the game. She's still, even though she's physically coming to work, still doing everything she was doing before the marriage, the perception has changed. So right off the bat, you see how these two lines that might have started at the same place are now diverging. And the man is on an upward trajectory and the woman is on an either stable trajectory staying the same or a downward trajectory just because they got married. And then, going with the divorce scenario, this whole idea that the woman's going to take everything. Well, generally, in most community property states, she takes half, and she could even take less than half if they agree to less than half. But again, statistics say that she often increases income 40%. And statistics also say that because she's generally cooking for him, running errands for him, that getting married can provide about $67,000 worth of value in the services that you're getting. If you're talking about a cook, a maid, if you have kids, you've got a nanny, you've got a surrogate, who's giving birth to your children. You have somebody handling your social calendar a lot of times, somebody who's, sometimes setting your doctor's appointments, sometimes making your lunch, doing all these little things that would cost a man time, energy, money, if he had to do it himself or hire it out. So she's not taking away, quote, 50%. She's added way more than 50%. So what she's taking away is not even equal to what she brought. And in fact, when we talk about purchases, women make 85% of the purchases in America. So that means men make 15%. And most of the purchases that women make go to the family. The statistics say that women spend 90% of their paychecks on the family and men spend 35%. So that means that a lot of the groceries, a lot of the toiletries, a lot of the new curtains and new sheets and, new underwear and, socks and shoes and all the stuff that gets brought into that house, she's buying. She's buying with her own money. And he's not even having to contribute to that, but his lifestyle has been upgraded because she's there buying these niceties, buying the candles, buying the air freshener, buying the cleaning supplies, all of these things that make his life, his home or his house, a home. So marriage benefits men more than women generally, and divorce hurts women equally. They don't get off scot-free. They have to start over too. They lose income too, So this narrative that just men are the victims on either end is just so crazy to me. And it's just not true. May you walk in synergy.